Season 2 of Brockmire premieres next Wednesday. That's April 25th at 10 on IFC. And you can watch Season 1 right now on Hulu. Always great to have you in, Hank. How are you?
Always good to be here. I'm very good. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be. I've only talked to you in New York.
Yeah, the man cave. This is the home man cave here.
Yeah, it's very impressive in here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did want to ask you about Along Came Polly.
Yeah, you're obsessed. I don't understand.
Okay, but you're so jacked in that movie.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Did you use performance-enhancing drugs?
Absolutely not. No, no one believes me anyway.
Would you tell me if you used PEDs?
I would be mildly embarrassed to admit it if I did, but I would tell you because it's not like they're going to throw me out of the Hall of Fame. Brockmire's in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I know that.
It's not like I get thrown out if I say, as an actor, if I say I did that.
No, there are guys in the Hall of Fame who've used PEDs. So
yeah, there certainly are.
Yeah,
I should be in that wing just because I'm suspected of it.
But in Hollywood, you're allowed to use PEDs.
People ask that all. There's a guy in L.A. So who asked me that exact question. Hey, were you on steroids? You did Along Came Polly? And I said, no, I wasn't. He goes, yes, you were. So I'm like, it doesn't matter what you say anyway.
Hank Azaria's performance.
But you guys are oddly obsessed with this. You won't take my shirt off. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to do this interview pantsless. I'll do that.
All right.
You won't be able to see what's going on.
If you do it, I'll do it.
All right, let's both get our pants off
ready?
for the interview. Yeah, you go first.
All right. No, you fooled me that. You fooled me that one time. I did that. The 2018 Mercedes-AMG E-Class, a suite of innovative technologies, one of the most intelligent cars on the road. Go to MBUSA.com. Visit your local dealership to schedule your test drive today. You ever do music?
Never.
I've tried. You have no musical talent?
My wife is very musically gifted. Her father was a concert-level pianist, was recruited by the Philadelphia Philharmonic, and my son has inherited that ability.
Oh, nice.
But I am completely devoid of talent.
First concert that Hank Azaria went to was?
1976, Madison Square Garden, Jethro Tull.
Oh, sitting on a park bench.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Watching little girls with bad intent.
Yes. Hey, Aqualung. That'd be a good one for Jim Brockmire.
Brockmire doesn't sing, though.
Well, no, Brockmire will. I'll sing in any character, just not as myself.
Does Brockmire sing "Take Me Out"? Does he do seventh inning stretch?
Yes, he did. In fact, it was documented in the mini documentary that you helped us with that he did alternate lyrics. That's one of the things that got him in trouble.
That's with his ex-wife?
Yes, he was upset about his ex-wife's extracurricular exploits, and I think that he used a bad word. Take me out to the ball game. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. My wife is my wife is a bad word. That's how he went into. That's how he performed it that day, and that's part of what got him thrown out of baseball.
What is it about Brockmire that we like?
Well,
or you want us to like?
Well, look, I'm confused as to whether the answer is Brockmire or is Hank.
No, give it to me as Hank.
I think that in the tradition of
is it a different
thank
answer?
You for deciding for me because I get very confused.
Okay.
In the tradition of like Forrest Gump and other characters and like Sex, Lies, and Videotape, he will just say the truth. You know, whether it's because he's in a blackout drunk or just because you can get away with really saying anything you want as long as you say it this way and give the count right afterwards. So that's kind of fun about him. And he's pretty insightful and he's funny and witty. It also, it lends itself to observational humor when you're talking like this because all you're doing is describing everything you're seeing. That's his job.
But you're the opposite of Vin Scully.
I would say he is. Well, they share some, Vin, by the end, boy, would he go on political rants, and then the count came right afterwards.
I always love that no matter what you're talking about, it always has to come back to, here's the 2-2.
Exactly. That's what's hilarious. That's one of the things that's hilarious. You can talk about anything. Well, that came from like growing up. I'm a Mets guy, but listening to Phil Rizzuto growing up, and there was more, right, especially in a game that wasn't close.
Yeah.
You'd get long descriptions of the Italian meal he had that night. That was most of the game. Oh, man, they do a sausage and peppers over there at the Torio's. You can't believe it. And Sonny comes out there with the red wine on a checkered tablecloth as Chambliss looks at a breaking ball on one. I mean, it's like, what are you talking about, man?
Rizzuto had so many non sequiturs. That Phil would be like, it's the balloon that it's tethered, but it gets so far away that you have to bring, or the kite, and then you have to bring it back.
That's exactly what I mean. So I became obsessed with how far can you actually go with that, which led to like Brockmire cursing and describing sex acts, and then coming back to Johnson looks like breaking ball outside. Want to know?
But have you thought about like John Sterling home run calls?
Well, Brockmire has many ridiculous home run calls that almost seem tame compared to John Sterling. Yes.
Are you thinking about kind of amping those up?
Just to top Sterling?
Yes. Could you have Brockmire have sort of a feud with the Yankee announcer? Like John Sterling, he's sort of invading in your territory.
Well, Brockmire is currently in several feuds.
Well, Joe Buck, I know.
Joe Buck, he can't stand. But who can? Pardon me, but as I almost threw up in my mouth just talking about Joe Buck. And of course, Musburger, Brent Musburger is a punk, thieving, lying punk, and Brockmire hates him, and rightly so. Let's face it. So let's start one with Sterling too. Brockmire there's a lot of home run calls that Brockmire had to reject over the years.
Okay, like
some that weren't great. You know, he plays on the word gone. That ball's gone. Somebody inject me with penicillin because that ball is gonorrhea. So that one never caught on.
Why not?
I don't know. It's disgusting, I guess.
I'm surprised.
That ball is the female lead of The Running Man. Call it Maria Conchita Aganzo. That one never caught on.
That's a little deep.
Yeah, it's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Here's a deeper cut.
Oh, no.
Somebody called that ball a failed contestant on the old version of American Idol because that one is Constantine Maroulis. See,
No, it's not.
Nobody even understands. Even I don't understand that one. I just said it.
Dennis Miller even said, what? Yeah. What are you talking about there?
He's like, I don't get it, babe. Yeah. You're going too deep, my friend.
How long is it?
My Dennis Miller sounds like Sammy Davis for some reason.
It did, and you had the delivery there.
Yeah, I was like this. I got problems there.
Do you do impressions, though, of just regular people? I know that you do voices on Simpsons, but who were the go-to?
Many of those are just imitations of regular, like people I grew up with, or teachers, or relatives, or whatever. Yes, and I will mimic. I mimic anything I heard, any person.
De Niro?
De Niro is mostly a facial impression. Yeah. I don't do a great De Niro. Can't have it. Can't, at the house, commiserating. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Who do you really like doing?
I get addicted to well, Brockmire was one of those that wouldn't get out of my head. I did so many years. I called it the generic baseball guy that if I start doing Woody Allen, I often fall down the old Woody Allen, the one we all liked, before we got in trouble.
Have you ever done one in front of somebody that you're doing?
I'm so terrified of that. No, I hate that when they say, "Oh, he does a great impression of you. You should do it." Terrified.
Paulie, bring out Woody Allen here.
Exactly.
Bring out Robert. I don't know if De Niro would.
I just worked with De Niro last year. I would have never, first of all, it's not that good, as you just saw, my De Niro. And
do you call him Bobby? What are you allowed to call
him?
Bob. Bob.
Because that's what he's called.
He is Bob.
In my brain, it's Mr. De Niro, but it comes out Bob just to be polite and friendly.
Nervous?
Yeah, very nervous to be around. I mean, I don't ever get used to that. Like in the Birdcage, you guys are obsessed with, where I did not use any performance-enhancing drugs. Gene Hackman, Robin Williams. I was kind of freaking my Mike Nichols, so that I never get over that.
Hackman is not acting anymore, right?
I guess not.
I don't think.
No, I think he's retired.
But I mean, I go back to the French Connection with him, what he did in Hoosiers, and you forget how great.
I was reading up on the Danettes. Paulie, is Hoosiers your favorite?
Absolutely.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
I think it's hands down the best sports movie ever.
You did some homework.
I was looking, I was on the website.
What are you doing?
And learning about the Danettes. This morning. It's a long drive from the city.
So am I. I'm learning about the Danettes as well. So what kind of plot twists and turns do we have season 2 of Brockmire?
Brockmire, very good. Well, if you remember, if you recall, season 1 available on Hulu, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hulu is fun to say, is Brockmire, by the way. Hulu, Hulu.
It sounds like hello.
Yeah,
but his way of saying hello.
It's a decent home run call in itself, And that ball is not Netflix, folks. It is Hulu. It doesn't make any sense.
It does not.
No,
it'd be Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah. All right. So what kind of plot twist do we have?
End of season 1, he goes off to AAA to call games for the New Orleans Crawdaddies, which in our world is in the Atlanta farm system, with hopes of Joe Buck has taken pity on him and made an entree into the Atlanta organization, but they got to make sure Brockmire is going to be okay and actually show up to the game sober, and they need him to call some AAA for a while, and he's been there for very long. There's kind of a legendary Vin Scully-like broadcaster in Atlanta that they thought would step down but isn't, and Brockmire is getting very impatient. And without his lady love, Amanda Peet, who is in season 2, but they're separated. And in New Orleans, which is kind of the right place for an alcoholic to really go pro. He may not be in the major leagues, but his alcoholism really hits a second level there.
How many broadcasters do you think make up Brockmire?
The jacket is Lindsey Nelson, and those guys like the late, great Craig Sager, and Walt Frazier, who likes to wear flamboyant outfits. Yeah. The voice is kind of a generic conglomeration of what I remember is just the average guy calling a game, who to me, you still hear this guy Saturday afternoons on your average NCAA broadcast. You'll still get this guy who kind of gives it to you like this. And I don't know who he is or who they are, but they give you college games quite a lot.
But Bob Murphy, who did the Mets.
Well, Bob Murphy is he's Brockmire after he's smoked about 40 Winstons.
I remember there was a game where the Mets beat the Phillies, and I think it was Phillies. He was just fed up that the Mets allowed the Phillies to come back, and they win the damn game, he said.
He said damn game?
Yes, and they win it.
Wow.
They win the damn game. Like I think he was just so upset that it took so long. Who knows? He may have had dinner reservations.
Back then, was it Rheingold?
I think so. Yeah, Rheingold.
Yeah, he had a few. You could tell that there was some Rheingolds involved in the broadcast.
Any other cameos? So you got Joe Buck, who you hate.
Hate Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Actually love Joe Buck, but hate Joe Buck. Brockmire hates him. I love him.
Okay.
That's the dichotomy. No, season 2, we don't have any actual broadcasting pros involved.
Okay. So
it's just the story went a different way. I hope I'm correct when I say that. Oh no, Joe actually does come back in for kind of a brief but memorable section. Your Buck does come back in.
Yes, Paul, you had a question for Hank Azaria.
We did some research on Hank as well, and we just sometimes we can't confirm whether you've been in a movie or not. Did you have a cameo or a small role in Pretty Woman?
Yes.
What was your role? Because we can't find, we saw a picture of you.
Like the first 5 minutes of the movie, I play a cop who's questioning somebody on the street. Julia Roberts in the very opening credits, another prostitute has been killed and is being pulled out of a dumpster, and it freaks her out. And I'm a cop questioning like a guy on the street.
Do you remember what that was like? Because that's one of your first roles, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I think it was the first part in a movie.
Okay, so you don't know who Julia Roberts is.
I knew who she was.
I mean, but she's not Julia Roberts.
No,
she
that
blew up after
movie
that.
made her a huge star, but by actor standards, she was already huge.
When she did Mystic Pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah. Richard Gere was...
He was a big
the
star.
name. Yeah, he was the name. But, you get cast in that movie. Do you have any idea it's going to be good?
Not only did I have any idea it was going to be good, it was like Gary Marshall's first big movie as well, I think. So you didn't think that necessarily he was going to, he had brought us Happy Days and Vern and Shirley and all kinds of television. But the only other job I had gotten, I got cut out of a TV show, and I had told people I was going to be on.
No.
And then they were like, great job, man. You see half my face for half a second. So I didn't tell anybody that I had a few lines in this movie. And by the time it came out, I'd forgotten that I didn't tell anyone. And I got all these calls like, why don't you tell a person you're in a movie? I'm like, oh, I forgot I kept that a secret.
Were you up for the Michael Scott role in The Office?
No, I heard you guys talk. I was like getting ready to leave the other day. And I had your show on, as I do, and I hear you guys talking about me. I'm like, no, I don't know where you got that. Not even close.
You didn't audition.
Didn't audition. Well, I auditioned twice to be on for the role of Joey, Matt LeBlanc's role.
Oh,
I auditioned and then they said no. And then the only time I've ever bowled my way back a few days later.
Do you hate Joey?
No, I love Matt LeBlanc.
But when you watch Joey, do you go,
that could have been me?
Yeah.
No, because he was so much better than I ever could have been. They made the right decision. And I ended up, doing a recurring part that was better for me on that show. So,
Did you date anybody from Friends?
It's a great question. No.
Matthew Perry?
Matthew Perry was my best friend. We came up together. I met Matthew. I did my first TV job with him, a pilot that.
But like Lisa Kudrow seems like that would be in your wheelhouse.
I had a period of time where I was always kissing her in one project or another, Friends or another small movie we did together. But no, she was already highly romantically spoken for. And I was at the time with Helen Hunt. We were together.
Okay.
Then. So
do you rehearse kissing on Friends?
That's no. That's a funny actor thing where like you have to rehearse kissing or sex scenes, whatever.
Yeah.
Generally, you sort of say, and this is the part where we'll kiss, and we'll do that on the day and not really rehearse that now because that's weird. Like if you're rehearsing a kiss and you're alone together, what's the difference between that and just making out?
Yeah, I agree.
If there's not a camera there or somebody else there.
Well, I had a role in a Sandler movie, Blended, where I have to kiss the star of the Goldbergs, Wendy Covey.
Yes, she's
Blended.
very talented.
Very.
Yes.
But it wasn't in the script. So we're going through our read-through
right
at the baseball field. And then Sandler goes, Danny, you should kiss her. And I didn't know how to act. And then she didn't do anything. My daughter was there.
Well, were they rolling? Was this like...
No, we were rehearsing.
Oh, just
So
rehearsing.
he wanted me to rehearse a kiss.
Yeah,
and my daughter is watching. And
God, that's horrible. It's a nightmare.
So Sandler, I thought, was punking me. I didn't think it was going to be in the movie.
Was he?
No, he was in the movie.
He meant it. Oh,
yeah.
okay. So you actually ended up did do it. Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't know how to kiss somebody when I'm acting.
No one does. You just kind of roll with it and...
No, I gave tongue.
Did you really?
Yeah,
You did not.
I had to. That's method
Most
acting.
actors don't do that.
Oh,
You
they
really
don't.
went far with the
Yes.
whole thing.
Well, Bobby told me, De Niro told me that's what you do.
De Niro told you to do
Yes,
that?
Bobby did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think he might have been punking you. You got to give it a tongue.
By the way, you and Pacino
You have to do it.
share a birthday. We did some.
I know that.
Yeah.
And Joe Buck.
You and Joe
as
Buck
well.
had
Yeah. Renee Zellweger, Ella Fitzgerald. I know them all the April 25th birthday.
All right, give me a little Brockmire before we wrap things up.
Well, what do
here.
you want? What about it?
I
Let's talk about my Hall of Fame. How about that?
I know. By the way, Brockmire, the sport code
Yes.
is the microphone in the Hall of Fame.
Microphone and the sport code.
That's pretty cool.
That's, by the way, jumping out of character.
Okay.
That's actually true. It really is in the Hall of Fame. Now back to Brockmire. It's a tremendous
Was it
honor.
emotional though?
Yes.
Like I'm being honest. That you're a sports fan. You grew up a Mets
Are you
fan.
asking me?
I'm
Yes.
Damn it! Brockmire's not here.
You know
right
what?
now.
Talk to my little friend
Okay,
Stuart.
all right.
This is Stuart, everyone.
Okay.
Hiya, Dan.
Okay, Stuart. That had to be pretty emotional.
Yes.
Pretty cool that you got your gear. You're immortalized.
It freaked me out, actually, so much so that I was like, I actually tried to have I was like, I don't think I deserve this. Let's really think about this, guys, or maybe Brockmire should be a little bit more of a cultural phenomenon at least, and grow our audience before we have this honor. But they really wanted to do it. So I was like, well, who am I to say no to that, actually?
All right, have Brockmire send us to break. By the way, season 2 of Brockmire premieres next Wednesday. That'll be at 10 Eastern on IFC. And make sure you check out season 1. It's available on Hulu.
Hulu. Very excited about the Hall of Fame, Dan Patrick. It's something I dreamed of my whole life, so much so that I once I put a plaque of my accomplishments up in a handicapped toilet stall on the second floor of the Hall of Fame, just to get in there. And obviously, this actual honor means more to me, but I'm not taking down my toilet plaque. I'm leaving it up there.
Great to see you, Hank. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And once again, he did not use performance-enhancing drugs for any of his movie roles. But he may have made out with either Matthew Perry or Lisa Kudrow. We're not quite sure.
That was drug-induced.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.